Alt Control on Apple Music.
Yo, what's going on, brother? How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for taking the time. You got Hanuman here at Apple Music. What's going on, man? How are you?
I'm great. It's a nice day. We just put out a song.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did, man. I guess that's as good a place to start as any. We've got the track Overcompensate sitting at the very top of your All Control playlist this week. Talk to me about the song. I mean, look, it's been a couple years since we've gotten the last project. A lot has changed, both personally, professionally, globally, for the fans and yourselves. How did this song kind of land on becoming the sort of opening salvo for the new album?
When we're writing songs and then we've got like a group of songs together, we start to think about like track list and how they're gonna land on the album, and then a lot of times that's informed by what our live set list is gonna be. This song came about, I think right away we were like, this feels like a song that like would be like the opening of a show.
That's what I was about to ask. That's what it feels like.
There's kind of like the intro of the song leading into when the beat kicks in. It kind of just feels like a real sort of like welcome back. It just felt like that's definitely the right one to start off with.
And you're sort of thematically and structurally, where are you speaking from on this song? Like where is the sort of narrative beginning with this track leading into what is going to be a forthcoming album?
I mean, really kind of all the albums have been really leading up to this in terms of like this kind of like, this like lore that's happening in the background of all these songs. The whole idea, and we try and be intentional about not having it be like a prerequisite to kind of understand or know what's going on with this lore to be able to listen to through an album.
Sure.
Where you can like still just like throw it on and have it going in the car and enjoy the songs, but if you want to dive in, then there's like this whole story happening. So I think everything has kind of been like a leading toward this album, which is kind of like, wrapping up this lore that's been happening the past few albums. And so I think that this is kind of like, this track specifically is kind of like, I guess like when I listen to it, I'm kind of just like, all right, here we go. It's kind of like a final season of a TV show that you really like. It's just like, all right.
I was about to ask, it feels structured that, right? If you have Clancy that's coming out May 17th and it's sort of the end cap of this chapter of 21 Pilots, this is the sort of, season finale, series finale rather, and then something new is going to be starting in the not too distant future. Do you feel, I don't know, a sense of closure? Do you guys feel like you are closing the book in a way that is acceptable and sort of satisfactory to the lore and the fans? I mean, we're not doing Game of Thrones season 8, right?
Yeah, I do, and I think it's an exciting thing. It feels like truly the beginning of an era, but an end to one as well, or will be. It's been a great kind of like place to write songs from, having this kind of story in mind. But I think that definitely by no means is like the end of our band.
No, of course not.
Yeah, it's kind of just wrapping up this story, and it feels good to do.
There's got to be a certain degree of liberation knowing that you guys are putting a period at this era and the future is, unwritten. You know what I mean? The future is still yours to sort of, I don't know, pen, I guess is the best way to put it. I mean, Clancy's coming out. It's going to be the end of this story. Do you guys feel that you were sort of already laying the groundwork for the next thing while you were kind of closing the book on this thing? When you guys were in these writing sessions, did you guys already start putting the sort of architecture together for what could come after Clancy? Do you guys even write that way, or is the production even that happening in that capacity?
The answer is yes. I think that the thing that I love about me and Tyler's working relationship and personalities is like we both enjoy a plan and something to kind of like ahead to look forward to or to kind of work towards, but both are reactionary to things happening as well and can pivot or adjust or add or subtract. And so this whole journey over the past few albums has been a combination of having a goal to work toward, but also kind of like taking in information and utilizing that in the moment. For example, just going and, putting out a record and then going and touring tells us a lot about stylistically what, the next record maybe should be or songs that we're lacking.
Yeah.
But then also some of the story, is kind of defined and written by experiences on the road and life experiences and fan interactions and, sometimes even fan theories.
I mean,
just kind of like...
You brought it up.
sometimes it's like it can be a two-way street. And
Sure.
I think even sometimes seeing like a fan art, like a photo, you know, sometimes they'll just be like, ooh, that looks really cool. Maybe I'll try wearing something like this on tour.
What a cool sort of living dynamic between fan and artist where, you know, you might have the outline or the structure or the sort of blueprint of a story and a narrative and maybe like the third act kind of sketched out, but there's still an opportunity for it to change in real time. How cool is that?
Yeah, it's great. I think, yeah, you're exactly right. I think like a sketch and some real story points that we want to hit, but then kind of leaving some room for a strike of inspiration or, you know, kind of a plot twist, like a TV show. I'm always fascinated with like the writing process on these shows.
Oh, yeah,
it's
sure.
like, you know, okay, cool. You got 6 seasons of this, like, you know, amazing show. Did you have the ending written when you started, or are you going season by season and kind of wondering how the story's going to play out?
With Clancy coming and you kind of saying that this is the closing of this era of the band, do you feel like fans are going to walk away satisfied? Do you feel like, you know, those George R. R. Martin fans are going to watch the season 8 of HBO and be like, you know what, stuck the landing?
Yeah, I think when all is said and done with this album, I definitely think so.
Yeah, man, that's amazing.
You know, maybe there are conversations that will happen between friends who have followed the storyline and maybe have some kind of arguments over, like, you know, what the outcome was. And I think that's cool.
Yeah, man. I mean, interpretation is a great thing, especially when it comes to art, you know? Have it, you know, leave open for conversation as opposed to having it spoon-fed to you.
Yeah, exactly. I think so.
Josh, thank you so much for spending a couple minutes with us here today, man. And we really appreciate the time. 21 Pilots are back with an absolute vengeance. We've got the new track. It's called Overcompensate. Man, thank you again. It's good to have you back. I know the fans are stoked.
Thank you. I really appreciate the time and showing some love to my band.
Same to you, brother. Thank you again for spending some time with us.
Yeah, thanks, man. Have a great one.
Later.
See ya.